Throughout history, absolute power has often been handed down to individuals who possessed absolutely zero common sense.
We imagine wise kings building grand empires. But reality gave us monarchs who waged war against the weather. Today, we are looking at 5 royal decisions so unbelievably stupid, your textbooks deliberately tried to hide them.
Let's start in ancient Persia. King Xerxes possessed the largest army in history and an ego to match. He built a massive bridge to conquer Greece, but Mother Nature sent a storm that completely destroyed it.
Most leaders would blame the engineers. Xerxes? He legally found the ocean guilty of treason against the crown.
He officially ordered his soldiers to march down to the beach and whip the sea exactly 300 times.
But he didn't stop there. He also threw heavy iron handcuffs into the water to enslave the waves. He even ordered them to brand the water with red-hot irons, just to show the ocean who's boss.
Unsurprisingly, the ocean didn't apologize. It remains history's most embarrassing fight against literal water.
It is the ancient equivalent of yelling at a rain cloud because you forgot to bring an umbrella.
Moving to France, King Charles VI ruled one of the most fearsome military empires in medieval Europe.
However, His Majesty suffered from a highly specific and utterly terrifying psychological delusion. He genuinely believed his entire body was made of fragile glass and would shatter into a million pieces. His brilliant royal decision? He had thick iron rods sewn into all his clothes to prevent breaking. He absolutely forbade anyone from touching him. A simple hug was treated like a brutal assassination attempt. Sitting down on a chair became an extreme sport. He would lower himself over 10 agonizing minutes. He even refused to bathe for months, terrified that the water would dissolve his fragile glass skin.
He managed to rule an entire nation while living in constant fear of a strong gust of wind.
In 1216, King John of England, the famous villain from the Robin Hood stories, was having a terrible year.
Retreating from his enemies, he brought the entire royal treasure, his crown jewels, and a ridiculous amount of luggage. He reached a massive tidal estuary known as the Wash. Local guides begged him to wait for low tide.
But John was an arrogant king. He refused to let a little bit of mud slow down his royal schedule. He ordered his miles-long convoy of incredibly heavy wagons to cross the sinking mud immediately. It was a disaster.
The incoming tide rushed in with terrifying speed, creating a massive whirlpool that swallowed everything. England's greatest treasures, gold, and his royal dignity vanished into a swamp. He lost literally everything.
To make it worse, he caught dysentery from eating a bad peach and died a week later. Brilliant move. Fast forward to the French Revolution. King Louis XVI desperately needed to escape the country in absolute secrecy. A normal person running for their life would choose a fast, dark, unnoticeable horse to travel quietly. No, I choose this.
Instead, he and Marie Antoinette chose a custom-built, bright yellow luxury carriage. It was basically a VIP hotel on wheels.
They packed fancy china, a silver dining set, and loads of perfume. Because it was so heavy, it moved slower than a walking snail. Ha ha ha! Look at him go!
Even while running from assassins, they refused to rush, stopping for luxurious multi-course picnics by the road.
This giant glowing neon sign of wealth rolled into a small town, instantly attracting everyone's attention. A local postmaster recognized the king immediately. How? Because Louis's exact face was literally printed on all the money. He was caught, arrested, and executed, all because the royal family absolutely refused to travel in economy class.
Finally, King Philip II of Spain spent a massive fortune to build the Invincible Armada to crush England.
Your Majesty, the admirals warned of apocalyptic storms. We must delay the invasion. Philip arrogantly ignored the experts, absolutely convinced that divine intervention would protect his wooden boats from heavy storms.
¡Fuego! ¡Fuego en los barcos! ¡La Armada Invencible está acabada!
In sheer terror, they cut their own anchors and scattered blindly into the treacherous North Sea, without a plan. Right on schedule, the exact massive storm his admirals warned him about hit the fleet with devastating, brutal force.
The fleet was utterly destroyed by the wind before they could even fight a proper battle against the English. Philip defeated himself by ignoring the weather forecast. Nature remains the undisputed champion of war.
So, history proves that wearing a fancy crown doesn't magically grant you basic intelligence or critical thinking skills.
Next time you make a bad decision, just remember, at least you didn't legally declare war on the ocean.
If you enjoyed watching powerful people fail miserably, hit that like button and subscribe for more untold historical absurdity.